Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Azimi, and I am that ex corporate guy who used to work in a call center environment for many years, putting in 12, 14, 16-hour days 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, until I became unemployable because my pancreas shut down and left me with nothing to fall back on. So I kind of hit rock bottom, a double whammy, both my income and my health gone. So I was redirected to this whole online gig economy space. And now I help folks like you, like me, to start a side gig online, and we grow it using social media. If that's something that's been on your mind, heart, and soul, you've kind of been serious or curious, drop the word side gig in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back with you, and let's have a little chat after this live. What's happening? Finally, a decent hour to go live. Ay, ay. I mean, it is decent for me. It's 8:30. I've been going live 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was a long time that I was doing that when I really first started. But then I kind of started to, come earlier, and it's nice to be back early. So welcome. We are live on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And if you're not following me, you can definitely do that. I go with Side Gig Sean across all platforms. So let's go with tonight's little story. I came across this little story, and I thought it's such a wonderful analogy for many of us. It hit home for me. From heading rock bottom and feeling that like there's no way out. I don't know if you've ever felt that way at all, but this story, this analogy of this story, if you would, kind of hit home for me. So let's see if you can relate with it. So we have a deer pregnant, a pregnant deer that is roaming around in the jungle and comes to a lake pond and kind of kneels down to get some water that her eyes kind of catches from a little far, catches, wait a minute, this is no regular pond or lake. This is full of alligators. So is like, okay, looks to his to her left and sees there's a lion that is waiting to take charge and take over. And then notices on her right that there's somebody with a bow and an arrow waiting to shoot. So while she's thinking what she's going to do, looks back and is startled with this random lightning sound that catches this tree almost behind her, and it catches on fire. So here she is, really trapped from all angles. The front, if she goes in the water, she's got alligators to deal with. Probably not the best idea. To the left of her, there's a lion hungry, waiting for supper. Yay, I got something. Bear, how are you? Welcome. And then to her right, there's a man waiting to shoot with a bow and arrow. And she can't go behind her because there's a fire behind her. So while this is all going on at the same time, the deer thinks to herself, what about my babies? And then thinks, well, if there's really no way out, And if really death is upon me, then let me just enjoy this second then, you know? And she kind of um, starts to calm down a little bit, kneels her head down into the water again, and starts to drink her water. All of a sudden, another lightning hits, but this time is thunder rain that is coming down so hard. And what happens is that the hunter startles, shoots the arrow, misses the deer, and hits the lion, and the lion is wounded. And behind her, well, you guessed it, the thunderstorm is helping to put out the fire. So all of a sudden now, she's got three ways out. Now, you may say, okay, what's the point of the story? Well, the point of the story is that how many times I know this, like I said, this story hits home for me. How many times have you ever been in a situation where you're thinking, no matter where you look, it's a dead end? No matter what you see, it's not a way out for you. How many times have you felt like you're absolutely trapped? There's nowhere to go, no place to go, no one to reach out to, and you're just on your own. And then being on your own is not that exciting. It's actually pretty scary knowing that you're surrounded by trouble and dead ends. I know I know that I have been in that situation several times. I like to say once, but several times I have found myself in that situation. And somehow, by the grace of God, I have found a way out, right? And isn't that what faith is all about? You know, the good book says, don't worry about anything, don't be anxious about nothing. I got you, right? It's just that by grace of God, somehow, the thunderstorm comes, puts out the fire, has the hunter miss the target, the arrow hits the lion instead, and all of a sudden you find yourself, wow, as fast as that came, it went away pretty quick. Now, the journey may have been a little bit of a struggle. Being stuck in that situation for a little bit may be a struggle. I know I've been there. Like I've said, I've been very transparent with my story. I'm I'm coming up now. You know, this whole online space, it gave me a way out. That's what I feel like. That's my only way out. That's my only space that's opened up for me all of a sudden. Remember, if you're a vet to my lives, you know, I say this very often. And if you're new to my lives, if this is your first time, hopefully it won't be your last time. But I say this all the time that you don't get restricted, you get redirected. And I got redirected. Sometimes you get redirected in life and you feel like all space, anything around you is blocked. And this is where you practice patience, just like the deer. A little bit of a patience and a whole lot of faith that you know with every fiber in your being that there will be a way out, that this is not your last chapter. You're going to break through this, become stronger, become more postured, know more about you, learn more about you, know more about life in general. Like I said, a little bit of a patience and a whole lot of faith. It'll do the trick. Now, it may be easy to say it, but when you put it into practice, that's why they call it practice. Right? You put that strategy, idea into practice. You're like, okay, so I got to have patience and I got to have faith with every fiber in my being that it's going to work out for my good. I'm going to win. I'm going to crush through this darkness. I'm going to crush through this chapter. Hey, I got some stuff. I'm going to crush through this chapter and I'm going to win over it. Just like the deer who went on to have her babies, to have her fawns. Right? So I ask you, if you are somebody who is in that moment, in that period of your time right now, you feel like just everything is just tight, just blocked. There was a time not so long ago, I felt like if you gave me a sack of gold, if I touched it, it would become dust. That's how I felt. And I've explained this a couple. I think maybe once I shared this story in a live, but I felt like that. I literally I had this dark time in my life, and a couple people offered me a couple things, and I said, you know what? If I touch it, I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch your idea. I don't want to touch the business. I don't want to have anything to do with it because I feel like, well, whatever I touch, it turns into dust. And I'm not actually Jewish. Um, I am a Christian. But if you're somebody who is in that time, in that space right now, I want you to try to put these two ingredients together and consume it. A little bit of patience and a whole lot of faith. And know convincingly that, you know what? This cannot be my last chapter. It can't be. I know I'm going to break through this chapter. I know I'm going to win over this chapter. And then I get to tell the story and give him all the glory. It all comes to that. You get to tell the story and give him all the glory. With that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. I grew up a Christian, but I'm contemplating. I mean, we can definitely talk about that if you like after this live. If you're not following me, hit that follow button, follow me, and then we can have a chat. I've done a couple. I'll leave this with you. I've done a couple of lives before. People get Christian hurt. Buddha said, if it weren't for Christians, I would have been a Christian. See, he never said there's no Jesus. He just said these Christians ruin it. So, you may say no to a bunch of Christians because they just don't live that way. But I would recommend highly you don't say no to the Lord and Savior. So hopefully that helps out. I don't know if it does. If you guys know somebody who needs to hear this, I know you know somebody who could use some value from this, get some value from this. So let's go. Don't be cheap with my lives. It's my lives. Share it. Tag that person to this. Let's go. And if you're not following me, I don't know why, because I'm pretty awesome. I'll tell you that all day. You can follow me on all platforms if you like: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads. I'm everywhere. And I go with Side Gig Sean. Now, I am somebody who used to work in the corporate world, in a call center environment for many, many years, and worked 12, 14, 16-hour days. That was normal. And 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, until I became unemployable. Who knew? My pancreas shut down, left me unemployable with nothing, and I mean nothing, to fall back on. Remember, I told you everything was blocked. I couldn't touch a single thing. I felt like it's going to turn into dust. And I got redirected to this whole online space. And now I help folks like you, like me, to start a side gig online, and we grow it using social media. If that resonates with you, if you've been thinking about it, maybe you want to get online, make some money a little bit, you know, um, then drop the word side gig in the comments, and I'll get back with you after this live. And like I say often, please be ready to have that conversation. It's like simple common sense. Anyway, with that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again.